Hey. Oh, we're at another full moon, and this time we're going to be talking about the snow moon with our littles. Now, for us, I already talked about this in a previous video, that we've already done our snow curriculum. And we did that back in December because it was the first snowfall and I was trying to make it exciting, and then I kind of ran through all my snow stuff instead of waiting for the snow moon. Notes for next year, right? It's always a learning process and you always need to give yourself a little bit of faith. But right now we're having a really big snowstorm, and we're about to have it during the full moon, the snow moon, here in February. And I thought it was so neat. The coincidence was so neat. So before we went out to play today in the snow, we took a second to just sit and watch the snow quietly. Well, as quietly as a 3-year-old can anyway. But my 7 and my 11-year-old were just in awe of how wonderful it all was, and just the quiet stillness of the snow falling. There's something very cozy if you get snow. And I mean, Hallmark Channel has plenty of movies that have snow and like wonderful, like heartwarming, but if you get snow, there's something magic about just sitting and watching the snow fall, right? I feel like it helps us to be still and quiet just for a moment, you know? It gives us that point of meditation. So what we do, especially considering the time of year that we usually get our snow moon, I like to use it as kind of like our lunar new year, you know? So we've got that time where we can just self-reflect. We can sit with the quiet and stillness. We might do some snow cream later. We definitely did the snowball fight, and now it's coming down real heavy, so I'm hoping that it's not too terrible tomorrow. We can make snowmen. That would be really nice. Right now, we are focusing, because we just had our first thaw, right? Wisconsin has many transitions between their big winter storms and then their thaws. So we just had our first thaw of the season, and that was 2 weeks ago. It was like 50 degrees, nice breezy day. Like, it was beautiful for like 2 or 3 days, and then hit us back again with those 50-mile-an-hour winds and like negative wind chill temperatures. It was just not good. But now we're getting our snow back. The cycle's correcting itself a little bit. So we are looking forward to the first flavors of spring. Usually out here in Wisconsin, we have like snowdrops and things like that. They come out about the end of February, beginning of March-ish, so we'll be keeping an eye out for those. But this year, we've got the full moon real close to Valentine's Day, and I wanted to do reflections on like self and how we can love ourselves with this full moon, you know? What is a way that you feel like maybe you're not showing yourself love or showing up as your best self? That's kind of hard for little ones to do, but you'd be surprised the answers that they give you, you know? Like, my 7-year-old told me that she feels like she doesn't draw enough and she needs to draw more. Well, she's a very creative little thing, so I'm like, absolutely, let's make some time for you to make sure that you're drawing, you know? That's one of the things that you love. And my 11-year-old was like, yeah, I feel like I could sing more. And I'm like, do it. If that's something that brings you joy, do it. And then, I'm not gonna lie, if we take a step back and look at how they're answering, I feel like we're going to be able to look at ourselves and like our own inner child and sit and meditate on that aspect. Like, what made us happy? You know, what is something we can do to show up for ourselves, to show ourselves some love? Whether it's inner child work and doing something you liked as a kid, or whether it's, you know, your self-care time, either or, you know. So we also like to write down like what our favorite part of the last moon cycle was. Like what did you love the most about doing the wolf moon? And what did you love the most about the new moon that was coming through? And do you like doing more moon stuff, or did you like it when we did less moon stuff? Like, that's the kind of things we sit and reflect on. As well as the night of the full moon. It's also known as the hunger moon, you know, because you're like still kind of in the claws of winter. And even though it's already past Imbolc for right now, it's definitely something where like you notice you're probably getting, if you prep a little bit and you have a lot of food from your garden, you're going to notice that those stores are getting kind of low. You're going to notice it just feels like, I know we have access to lots of things. I mean, even in food deserts, we still have access to food, but it feels like this time of year specifically, the nourishment of our souls and ourselves seems a little scant. You know, like we're no longer hungover from Christmas, but now we're just kind of slogging through. So being able to sit and making a meal together, even if it's like just letting them put toppings on, you know, the pizza that you're making, or pick out the vegetable or something like that, like having them help make the meal and then sitting together kind of helps stave off that hunger, both with emotional stability and also with like the resonance of hunger in the season, you know. As far as homeschooling curriculum goes, to integrate this, you know, I talked about doing the snow curriculum. So we talked about these are some things that you can do to bring it in. You can talk about the different shapes of a snowflake and use your paper to cut up different snowflakes, because there are different ways to make snowflakes. You can't even, it's not just all one same pattern. There's quite a few different patterns, and it's really amazing whenever you look at it. I'll have those links in the post down below for my Patreon, and when this goes live on YouTube, I will have it in the description box below. As far as, we also did a touch on the weather. You know, we did the rainy cycle for weather and like the life cycle of water when it was rainier in the fall, as well as like now it's time for snow, and this is how snow affects our ecosystem. And this was just very gently touched on, right? So you need to pick something that would suit your kids, their interests, and their like age level to, you know, go from there. We also had, like, I will always sing the praises of SciShow, which is this adorable little show, but that's like, I want to say from like 4 to 7, depending on what the topic is. And the little puppet's adorable, and the woman who's on there goes a little fast, so you might have to watch it again or put on subtitles or something, or like break it down, watch it to break it down and like wait for questions. There's a little bit of extra legwork in this for us as homeschooling parents, but I'm telling you that just taking it to connect the magic to everyday applications really helps bring that magic to life for your kiddos. You know, it really helps them to connect with the world around them on both a physical and spiritual level in a way that I've not been able to do otherwise. So I definitely hope that you all have a really good time for this full moon. I'm losing my train of thought here because I'm like, there's something else I'm thinking of. There's something else I'm missing, but I'm pretty sure I got everything. I even brought my notes this time instead of just yelling at you. For this full moon, make sure that you're definitely taking that time, not just to reflect with your kiddos, but like have them write it out if they need to, or speak it out. You can make a video for yourself. That was a fun one we did last year, was we made videos of like things that we wanted to see for the new year and for the lunar new year and things like that. And I thought that was really funny. And they were being very goofy, but also they were really insincere. So that was really good. But yeah, if you have any ideas or anything like that, leave them down below. I cannot wait to see what you come up with. And I really, really, really hope that you have a fantastic full moon with your kiddos. All right, bye.